find interesting is what motivated a player on the current roster to say to a reporter, I got something for you. Let me tell you about the time that Daboll exploded on Kafka because of a Theo Johnson drop.
Pause. And I don't know what that does for the player other than make you look like a little because what the hell does that have to do with anything? How he coaches doesn't determine, or how he handles his emotions with another coach has nothing to do with you. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Now, if it's a player talking about him talking a certain way to a player, I get it. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Why a player would release that and make it feel like, what's the benefit?
This sounds like a player that was done with Brian Daboll and didn't like Brian Daboll and was probably like, oh, let me give you more information and more background.
Who was it? Somebody who's not playing.
I think that Brian Daboll's feisty personality was already well known, and I remember when that story came out a couple of years ago because I was asking you guys, hey, does this worry you? Like, are you worried? Mm-hmm. And I think your opinion was very similar to what you're saying now. Is like, hey, the players just don't be whining a little bit.
Just do your job. Who cares?
But what I think can happen sometimes is when you're not winning, the screaming and the yelling gets old really quick.
Of course.
He didn't get fired because he screams and yells. He didn't get fired because of his temperament. He got fired because they lose a lot.
Right.
But I think when you're losing a lot, that temperament will go over really badly.
You could argue that the reason that they didn't communicate well enough is because he was always screaming and yelling. And again, I'm saying always. That's only because that's how it's presented. But I don't know if that was the case. He would scream and yell at the referees for sure. We would see that on game day.
We all love that, though.
We would see him every now and then scream at a player or a coach because of a mistake that happened on game day. But it's not like he was screaming and yelling 60 minutes out of 60 minutes. He's gone. Why crap on a guy when he's gone?
And he's also gone.
It's like petty.
He's also gone for the most obvious reason. They didn't win.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they didn't win. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let's connect on Patreon. I'm talking about early access, full episodes, the rap, story time, Wileyisms, and support projecttransition.org below. Let's go. All right. There are so many things I'm going to address in here because, as you guys know, raise your hand if you've ever been to Team Snitch. Now, I wish I was in front of all of my brethren in the NFL fraternity, all the, 10, 20,000 of us. And then I'll say, now raise your hand if you've been a Team Snitch. And you guys would be surprised how many hands went up. So let's provide some context to this situation. Tiki Barber blasts Lil Bitch, Giants player who leaked Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka drama to ESPN. I don't know what that does for the player other than make you look like a little bitch. Okay, so New York Giants beat reporter Jordan Renan of ESPN wrote a feature piece on Thursday to follow the Brian Daboll era. Keyword era. Not one day, not the last day, not when he's gone, era. Somebody wants to know, hey, what happened? All them books we read, all those biographies that we read, how did they find all that information out that you guys are so intrigued and interested about? Somebody got to say it. After the Giants fired Daboll on Monday and named offensive coordinator Mike Kafka as the interim head coach. Interesting. So the guy you were beefing with, the guy you were threatening allegedly is now taking your job. Sounds like they had a little power trip in there while he still had the job. I digress. Among the interesting details in the article was the explanation of an anonymous Giants player claiming that Daboll went off at Kafka and threatened to take away play calling duties after tight end Theo Johnson dropped a pass during a game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, I don't need to read any more of that to give you guys context to explain that situation. And really all situations, pro sports, it could be politics, whatever it is, right? Raise your hand if you were a snitch. Team snitch. No, I need everybody who played pro, NBA, NFL, I don't give a damn. All y'all, raise your hand if you ever snitched. Damn, a lot of hands went up. You know what is so crazy about this? Everyone wants to have shame about it, but everyone wants to participate. Oh, you don't believe me? Read a biography. You think that person said it? If they said it, it will be an autobiography, but somebody else is talking about them in the moment and after it, the era, all them Jordan stories. You think Jordan telling y'all all that? I digress. So a lot of people do this, and the reason they do this, we'll go through that and explain it. But the real of this is, I want to address what Tiki Barber is saying, because I think he tried to call me a little bitch. I was kidding. He wasn't talking to me, but he was talking to it, and I understand it, what he's talking about. Because many players do this, you usually hear it in anonymous sources. You usually hear that same statement, anonymous sources. But for some reason, this reporter really wanted to drive it home and said, a player, okay? So now we don't went from anonymous sources, that could be anybody, to, oh, it's one of those 53. Okay, but now we don't know who. Tiki Barber's assuming, oh, it's somebody who doesn't play. Look, I was a Pro Bowler. I was an all-pro, and I was snitching. So don't do that. Don't talk about, oh, he ain't playing. No. It could be anybody who wants to go through the process of having a relationship with the media and saying, look, I'm going to tell you why we all out here saying this, but I'm going to be the one that says it. I'll get to that in a second. All right. So there are three things that Tiki Barber and his co-hosts were talking about that really struck me. One is the fact that the way he communicates with his coach doesn't matter to a player. Oh, yes, it does. Because coaches by the power dynamic got a little healthier respect for each other than they do even the players. Unless you're the superstar, which how many superstars there are. Even a star player in the NFL stands for not for long, right? So most guys got to respect the coach, even if the coach is younger than them. The coach don't make as much money as you. He probably didn't even play pro ball, but you still got to be under his thumb because he's your coach. So when he talking to that guy who got you beat in the power dynamic of the 53, at least 43 of them got to listen to the coaches. There's about 10 guys out there to be like, coach, come on now. And then even them, be careful. We could trade your ass at midnight while you with the wife, like real spit. So you got those situations. 43 of us got to listen to that damn coach. I wasn't one of them. But the point is you got to listen to the coach. So you think if he undressing the coach, how you think he going to do the player? You think this is going to get fair? If he undressing somebody he thinks as a peer, someone he picked and hired, right? You pick your staff. You don't get to pick every player. Oh, come on, man. Y'all got to push back on these conversations in real time. You and your co-host got to have that real convo. I'm sure that was just a split. I'm sure that was just a clip. But point being, come on. You know what it is. That's why if a coach is clowning his own coaches, duck players, duck. He coming for your head. Okay, here's another part of it. The player wasn't playing. Well, it is a lot of guys out there that just chop it up with the media. This is how it happens. The media, whoever it is, the beat writer, somebody cool, somebody of your peer group, just whatever. You just like it. You like his work. You just, hey, here's my number. You got any questions and stuff? He's like, can I get your information? Yeah, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you stuff that everybody else is feeling and thinking. Or I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. But the point is, anonymous sources. Every time you hear that, this is not to justify, it's somebody on the inside telling you everything. How do we always know these deals are about to happen before the deal happens? Because somebody is the anonymous source. Somebody is that player. It's okay, boo-boo. I think we should clown and kill the person for hiding more than we should the information that they're giving. Why you hiding? Just say it. Now I know why you don't say it. We're going to get to that too. And the last part about the screaming and yelling, look, if a coach becomes white noise, and why it's not black noise, it's some black coaches, black noise, whatever you want to call the noise. If you become that guy, if you become monotone, and monotone is not just, I'm always speaking like this. It's also, man, look, dog. Like I had coaches that cried all the time. I had coaches that got too deep all the time. I had coaches that were rah-rah like you gotta change it up. I'm a DJ. You can't play the top 40 hits. You gotta mix it up. Play some B-sides, right? Play some underground. Play the next thing that's gonna hit. So one day somebody be like, damn, I heard that song a month ago. Oh, he a killer. Instead of, oh, he's playing the jukebox. You can't play the jukebox, coach. Simple as that. So let's get into a couple more layers of this because I want to really defend what Tiki Barber is saying and then also defend what the player did, right? So we know how the old school code is, right? They work on accountability, not anonymity and all that, right? You better put your name on it. Okay, that's old school. New school ain't so much like that. We'll get into it. So these anonymous criticisms, they like undermine the leadership. But guess what? He gone. But even when he was there, not all the time you feeling the leadership. Be real. You ever been in a situation like, dog, if they just fix this or change this or get rid of it. Everybody's sitting there saying the same thing, but we need something to happen. So that's what he's like, look, if you want something, you're going to have to speak on it and put your name on it. But not everybody's built for that, Tiki. And I know you are because you was in that pressure cooker. You was in New York and you played and balled at the highest level and balled out while you were there. I'm talking about the highest level, like balling. I am the team MVP. I get it. But he's not trying to come at Brian Daboll as much as he's trying to address the situation, explain the situation. How do you explain that? Sometimes you got to be the anonymous player. I get it. So, speaking honestly, get you benched, get you cut, right? Get you fined, whatever. Come on, man. Why you think Amon St. Brown is out there apologizing for doing a dance? Like, people know that there are penalties, there are repercussions, right? So you got to just play the game. You got to toe the line once you cross the line sometimes. So he might be saying what the entire locker room feels. You never know that, Tiki. You never know that. But he's the only one brave enough to voice it. And people don't give you enough credit for being anonymous but brave, because you saying something that could corner you. It could pigeonhole you, put you right there. Like, oh, we can line you up. Be like, wait a minute, who would say that? Right? So there's a little bit of that. I actually don't mind it because it happens so often. It's not that I don't mind it like I'm the first one to do it. It's like, y'all all doing this. And if I start saying some names, y'all be like, what? And I'll be like, yeah. How you think things went in their favor? Part of being a superstar is you got people working with you. It ain't just how you ball, because we know there's some people who ball out, like LeBron, balls out, but he got people working with him, working for him, right? And then there's some people you're like, damn, no matter what they do, it ain't. Like Russell Westbrook, people kill him because he ain't out there doing all the anonymous and all that. He like, I'm me. You know, Russ, I'm me. And guess what comes with that? A lot of hate, because you ain't got people working with you saying they love you. That's how the game goes. So the reporter didn't just magically receive that info. That player trusted him. They had a relationship, and he said, look, this is what it is. And I would tell you, most times they're telling you something that everybody is thinking. Everybody means a majority, not all the locker room, because all the locker room don't give a damn, right? So if the leadership's struggling, speak on it. And transparency, I know it's part of today's game, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep my job. So this is what it is. This is the real of it. Tiki speaking from the old school, right? They handle problems face to face. Simple as that. Y'all know the game. And they don't go through the reporters. But new school, they say be honest, but protect your job. You know, be honest, but keep your job and your reputation and your future. So it's old school versus new school if you really want to just classify it. To me, it's just whatever you want to do. You got your ass to that position where you got a job, and you don't get to keep your job if the coach sucks all the time, because guess what? They're going to be looking at the players like, you ain't that good if the coach sucks. If the record is bad and we think the coach is bad, guess who's next? You. So I just wanted to explain it, not defend it, because everybody be like, oh, you did something and now you regret it. I don't regret it. Y'all see this show? Part of this show is like me just sitting there like, and you want to know why they don't shoot back? They don't shoot back at me because I ain't lying. I ain't making these stories up. These stories are coming from them. Now, 10, 20 years later, I was like, I told y'all, these cats they be on one. Simple as that. So beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. I don't have a problem with it because I like reading about things that I wasn't involved in. I wasn't around, right? I would love to see, and every time they say something about Kobe and Shaq, it always intrigues me. Was I playing with Kobe and Shaq? No. How do we know so much about Kobe and Shaq? Go. Told you. Some of them on camera, a lot of it not. But anonymous sources says your favorite player is probably an anonymous source as well. So, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, we check in on your blood flow, boy. Are you guys using VINIA? Oh, my God, what are you guys doing? Let's keep it real, family. Energy isn't about sugar or caffeine. Nah, none of that fake stuff. It's about blood flowing. When your circulation's strong, the oxygen, the nutrients, they hit your muscles, your brain and heart, and goes where it needs to go. What does that mean? More focus, more alert, and you are ready with more energy. So come on, go to VINIA.com/Marcellus. Use the discount code Marcellus10 for a 10% discount. Who's Marcellus? Me. You know your boy. 10-year NFL All-Pro baller. Had to go after it without VINIA, without this real product. Had to use that fake stuff, sugar and caffeine. Good thing is, it got me up there. Bad thing is, pow. Boy, would you crash sometimes in the middle of the game. So now, in the game of life, I have VINIA. You can too. So make sure you use VINIA in your daily routine. I don't care if you're a dad. I don't care if you're a coach or a chauffeur like me. All the above. You need this to be more focused, more alert, and it helps you be on the go. So go to VINIA.com/Marcellus. Marcellus10 for the discount code. And you will get 10% off. That's VINIA.com/Marcellus. So, you know what we do on this show. We flow, boy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got a theme song right here. Y'all like it? Me too. It's like Sanford or something. Or Married with Children. Yeah, we got ours. This is ours. What Andre 3K and Sugar Free always in the booth. We may throw a little Jeezy in there, here and there, some Corrupt. I don't know. But we're going to talk about these Giants right now. Oh, now y'all tough. Let's go get this thing. Hey, Daboll, you got fired. Whole locker room froze. Anonymous dudes popping out like, let me expose. Bro waited till the coach got boxed up and gone, then started talking spicy like, yeah, he did me wrong. Tiki saw that quote like, this gotta be a glitch. Talking after he's fired, boy, you a little bitch. Coach ain't even cold yet. HR ain't filled out no forms, and you already snitching like he out here. Man, that ain't no norm. Daboll had a headset, but boy, he was silent. Now he talking big like he built for some violence. Daboll ain't no football man, couldn't scheme, but a week ago, he was like, yes, sir, coach, I love the team. Tiki like, bruh, stop playing. You talk tough now because the coach ain't staying. That's like barking at your ex when she already blocked. You ain't tough, you just safe. Big difference, little doc. Anonymous dude strutting like he dropping big hits, but waited till Daboll's desk got cleaned up his kits. He like, I finally feel free to speak my soul. Bro, you free because the man unemployed. That's the goal. Daboll somewhere home eating cereal real slow. Turn on ESPN like now he talking, oh hell no. Whole league clowning, timeline on fire. Dude talking brave, now the boss got fired. He said it last week, that boy get bitched. Now he's Superman cause the threat got drenched. That's like saying I always hated you at a funeral. Ain't no noble, ain't no bold, just goofy and delusional. You stupid ass little boy. OG rules is right. Say it when it matters, not when it's safe at night. Player like, man, I had to wait, coach was mean. Boy, shut up, boy, and get a movie team. Like it was toxic, it hurt my spirit. Only HR told Daboll, turn in your clearance. This whole vibe is offbeat. Giants out here looking like a Netflix doc sheet. Yeah, that playbook bad, but this next level, this some talk big now comedy by the devil. Coach got canned, now you scream and shout. But last week, homie, you were scared to come out. Blah, 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 blah.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the word is
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.